Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Take a look at AMC stock. AMC stock is up over 6% today. You're breaking out above two major levels, and one of them is just a longer term kind of bottom level that you're breaking out above, which is a really good sign. The other one is this purple moving average. Now, we're going to get into depth a little bit more on what this could lead to for AMC stock, because I think it is very exciting. Now, we're also going to get into what's happening here on the markets today and what you apparently need to be marking your calendars for in the beginning of November. That is according to this article that we are going to get into here together. So let's go ahead and get into it. This rally looks like it is picking up some steam, and I think it is far from over. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comments section. So AMC stock is up 5.82% at the time of recording this video at $10.54 per share. Now, back here in January of 2021, when everyone thought AMC was going bankrupt, you hit a low of $10.35, and then you proceeded to rally to about $107. These are obviously split adjusted prices, accounting for dilution as well. So that is like a 10x rally that you ended up doing once you did hit that low and started to bounce. And now you're back above that level. So that is a really good sign. The second thing is this 50-day moving average at $9.83. You're pretty firmly above that. And yesterday you found resistance here. Today you gapped up above this. That's a solid sign that we're probably going much higher from here. Now, the MACD wants to go positive. It's curling up. When you get the MACD going positive, that probably leads to more of that upside move as well here in the markets. Now, the RSI is at 53.47, so technically above that neutral level of 50. And at 53 for the RSI, AMC stock could rally a lot before that would even be like a negative, right? Usually when AMC gets to the 30 level, you tend to get a bounce. Besides back here, you know, this period from August through really October, where you were technically oversold for a long time, you normally get a bounce right at about 30 almost every single time. And you didn't last time, but once you get to about 70, you can overshoot that, and that's where the rally becomes like very aggressive, and that's a possibility as well. So we'll have to wait and see. That would mean AMC stock would need to go much higher before we got to that 70, thus just meaning there's a lot of fuel on this fire to give you a huge rally to the upside. And I think if you're looking at the technicals here and just gauging out ahead, that's what's going to happen, in my personal opinion. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a financial planner. But if I were to make a bet, I would say AMC stock's going much higher from here before it goes much lower. So there is that. Now let's get into what's actually happening here on the day today. I think this is, I mean, obviously AMC is doing its own thing, but some of this bullishness is just in the small caps in general. So the Russell 2000 is the only index that is in the green, and it's up about 0.9%. The Dow is down 0.1%. Kiss up yawning this morning. The S&P 500 is basically flat on the day, and the NASDAQ is down about 0.25%. So, I mean, the Russell 2000 outperforming like this is actually kind of wild. Now, why is this happening? Well, we have the Fed tomorrow. That's the number one reason. That's the big reason why this is happening, because, I mean, people are expecting Fed Jerome Powell is going to be more dovish than he was previously and really signal the end to raising rates, and maybe even start to give us more clues on when they might start to cut rates. This is having an effect on Treasury yields today. Your 30-year Treasury yield is down about 2 basis points, just anticipating tomorrow. And your 10-year Treasury yield was down like 2.5 basis points. It did rise again here, but you were down to about 4.84%. You're technically down 1 basis point still. So We'll have to wait and see what happens throughout the rest of the day today, but so far so good. This is usually a reason that, you know, small cap stocks can outperform, but today is a real outperformance. And again, I've said it before, but I think it's one of those things where if you're on Wall Street, you're trying to position for 2024 and what's going to do well. Now, you can make the argument that big tech did so well because obviously they're stable businesses, they're self-reliant, self-funded, but also interest rates basically didn't affect them. It helped them, if anything. It allowed big tech stocks to collect billions and billions in interest on their cash, whereas small cap stocks, that was obviously not the case. So that's just flipping now. Now your small cap stocks are going to start benefiting from the Fed lowering rates in 2024. And I think that makes, AMC very attractive. I think that makes a lot of other small cap stocks pretty dang attractive. Now, obviously, it's probably not going to go in a straight line. We've started to get some inflows to small caps, but small caps are so beaten down. It is just ridiculous at this point. If you take a look at this chart, you are nearing a record drought for small caps. You have the internet bubble, global financial crisis, and the bond route. Basically, just bond yields just have been going higher for a long time, so nobody wanted to own small caps. It has been about 500 days since you hit a new 52-week high, so I think that is coming to an end. I do expect small caps are going to do a lot better in 2024 than your Apple, Microsoft, Google's, Amazon's, your big tech names. So we'll see. If small caps do well, that likely means AMC stock is going to do very, very well. I would imagine. At least that would be my opinion. So there you have it, guys. There's some of kind of what's going on here on the day. Not too much is actually like newsworthy. You did have the Bank of Japan that met last night. This was around 11 p.m. last night, and nothing really came of it. We already knew they were going to tweak their 10-year yields and allow them to rise to 1% after only allowing them to hit 0%. The short-term interest rate is still actually negative. So today, based on that, you're actually seeing the dollar green today. And that's probably what is affecting your bigger indexes, your larger tech names, because, larger tech names, they're multinationals. They do business in foreign currencies. When you do business in foreign currencies, you take in foreign currencies, convert that back to US dollars. Well, you don't tend to do all too well when the dollar continues to rise. And that's what's happened really ever since July, after you kind of broke down and things were looking good for the dollar, looking like the dollar was going to fall. And then that just quickly reversed. So today is a 0.63% update for the dollar. Again, putting more pressure on your big tech stocks. USO is flat on the day. TLT is up a 0.5%. And we do have some earnings here in after hours as well. So what do we have for earnings here in after hours? AMD, First Solar, Paycom, Caesars, Lumen, Green Brick, Livent, Oniac, Assurant, and Match Group that will be reporting earnings. Now, I think AMD can make earnings today and after hours a little bit more important because that's going to move NVIDIA. That's going to move the broader markets. Wednesday in after hours, you're going to have PayPal, Roku, Qualcomm, Supermicro, SolarEdge, Airbnb, Etsy, Mercado Libre, and Elf. That's going to be an even bigger day coming tomorrow. And then Apple Thursday and after hours is going to be a very big earnings. And Apple is for sure going to be one of the biggest catalysts of this week for our markets. Now, let's get into specific information with AMC stock here now. And you're still up about 6%. You have a short score of 53, $129.1 million worth of short positions in AMC. Estimated short interest on free float at 6.55%. Free float out on loan at 7.91%. Shares out on loan 15.65 million. Days to cover 0.79. Cost to borrow of 1.23%. And utilization of 36.59%. So the numbers are not exciting here, but I'll just say be very cautious with making assumptions on what the actual numbers are. We just don't know. I would make an argument that they're probably not these numbers. These numbers are probably way too low. That'd be my assessment. Obviously, that doesn't have to be correct, but I think most of you guys would agree with that as well. Now, the live short interest of free float is at 6.56%. And you do have about 13 million shares that are currently sold short. Cost to borrow average 1.7%, cost to borrow max 2.32%, and cost to borrow minimum at 0.82%. So some I guess lower cost to borrow fees here, but again, we just don't know. I think this new SEC rule change 13F2 is going to give us a lot more transparency on maybe who is short or how long they've been short, what kind of collateral is used to back these short positions in AMC, all kinds of new information. So you're probably going to get less of that manipulative shorting activity. And that could be another reason why AMC stock has been moving higher recently due to this proceeding that is, going to be going into effect. I believe it's the end of November, so we do still have some time from now, but it will be happening nonetheless. Now, if you take a look at the option activity here today, you have only seen 2 orders get flagged from this Ortex data for $192,000 with a positive order value of 0%. These were both puts. What you have seen recently is the put to call ratio on AMC stock is the lowest out of any stock I can find. I literally cannot find a stock that has a lower put to call ratio. AMC's put to call ratio is at 0.70, but if you look at the open interest side of things, over the last couple of days, you're at like 0.58, 0.62. That means you almost have a 2-to-1 ratio for calls compared to puts. Over the next 30 days, you have about 2-to-1 for your calls to your puts on a put to call ratio of 0.57. Now, if we take a look at the Stock Tracker data here and look at the numbers, the calls out the money at 43,556, puts out the money at about 42,000. It's pretty similar on the out the money contracts for the calls and the puts, but the in the monies are way different. So calls in the money of 32,000, puts in the money of 1,200. So there is a lot more calls that are in the money, and I think this trend's probably going to continue for a while. I think AMC stock is going higher from here. I think that is, in my opinion, a certainty. It doesn't have to be a certainty for you. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a financial planner. That's not a guarantee that AMC stock is going to do well, but I personally think that it is going to do very well. Now, over the next couple of weeks, the next couple of months, you have more call activity than put activity. And what we've seen recently with all the fear in the markets, I think if AMC stock was really going to fall and, see a flush down to the $7 level, some of those lows, you probably would have seen that actually happen like already, right? I don't think at this point you're in for another big decline with AMC. Obviously, if they raise capital, something along those lines, that's a possibility. Okay, don't be confused there. Like AMC could come out and say they're going to raise capital today, but I don't think AMC stock is going lower here, at least in the near term, unless you did get some kind of dilution or really bad news for AMC. You do have earnings upcoming. And that's why this article says AMC stock alert, get ready for a ticket sale catalyst on November 9th. And this says international advanced ticket sales for Renaissance, a film by Beyonce, will begin on November 9th. The concert film will then premiere globally on December 1st. AMC stock is down by over 65% this year. And I want to highlight this because Taylor Swift's movie has brought in about $203 million across the world, of which $149 million or 73.6% is attributed to domestic ticket sales. This is the highest grossing concert of all time. It says the movie brought in around $92 million domestically on its release date. And the Renaissance tickets are going to be even higher priced at $22 a piece. They're going to be more expensive than the Taylor Swift tickets were, and those were $19.89 for adult tickets and $13.13 for children and seniors. So we'll see. I mean, this has had a positive effect on AMC stock over the past, couple of days and weeks here. This Taylor Swift film, AMC is the distributor for the Taylor Swift film as well as the Beyonce film. So AMC should bring in more money from each ticket that is sold, not to mention people that buy food, beverages, alcohol, whatever else they want to buy at the theater. I mean, that's going to help out AMC numbers a lot as well. So I think earnings could actually be a big catalyst to give us some kind of guidance on how these films, might affect AMC's bottom line, top line. We just don't know exactly. We're obviously watching for that. We're trying to figure it out, but until we hear clarity, we don't have a lot of details. So that is going to do it for this video. We're going to get into more of this rally here in the next video and everything you guys need to know about that one. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.